What makes you so excited about Tar?
Honestly, I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of Amadeus just a little bit. It's about a composer. That's it.
That's what I figured.
That's all.
Yeah.
And literally the 2 trailers that I've seen have been very minimalistic, but for some reason the movie occupies a lot of space in my mind right now. So I really want to see it, even if it is a little disappointing.
I don't think it will be. You look up the IMDb score, the Metacritic, the Letterboxd, everyone's raving. Everyone's giving it like 9s out of 10s, 10s out of 10s.
Interesting.
So I don't think it'll be disappointing.
But let's hope so. Because,
you think it's going to be disappointing?
No, I hope it's not going to be. But if it is, I am mentally preparing myself for that eventuality.
I feel like you have too much stake in this movie if you're mentally preparing yourself for it to potentially be disappointed.
Well, I do that with most things.
Point to otherwise.
Well, I haven't really been paying attention to the signs, mostly for that reason. So I'm going to go in fresh and unencumbered. It is 2.5 hours, though.
I think it's even longer. I think it's like 2:38.
It's 2 hours and 38.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is roughly 2.5 hours. I was rounding down.
I feel like normally you chastise me when I round. Don't you?
No, because I think that one time you rounded up.
What's wrong with rounding up?
I think in that specific instance, I kind of forgot what it was, but in that situation, it would have been more, I guess, accurate to round down than up.
In this instance, it's more accurate to round up than down.
Well, so what? Say it's 3 hours? Because that wouldn't be accurate.
I was going to say 2:40.
Okay. Well, I was going to go with the halves and the wholes. So if we're going with halves and wholes, then it's 2.5 hours.
I'm not going with the halves and the wholes.
Okay.
There's some other movie. Do you, there's another movie coming out.
There are a lot of movies coming out.
Specifically, what is it? Do you have any interest in the movie revolving around Emmett Till's mother? I guess I'm curious just because of the how sensitive the topic is for you.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Because I've been getting trailers for it, and I've heard a statement. I think it might have been in Variety or something, that the filmmaker said, "Oh, we're not trying to re-traumatize anyone, but I'm not gonna put that in somebody else's hands." So I'm sure it's a wonderful film. It is very important to talk about it, but I will not be seeing it. So
they
actually recently unveiled a Emmett Till statue. I don't know if it was in Jackson, but it was in Mississippi somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I definitely want to see it. It's coming. It is playing here. Though I don't know for how long. I need to look into that.
Well, it opens this weekend, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. See, the problem is Melissa and I, sort of because it's our anniversary, and because it's October, there's a lot of movies we're seeing. So we're seeing a movie Saturday, we're seeing a movie Sunday, we're seeing a movie Monday. And that's it. If I do see the, I don't like just calling it Till, but the Emmett Till movie. Title. I know, but I don't know. It's just so short.
Yeah.
If I do see that movie, I might see it by myself Friday.
Tomorrow?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Only because the main reason, well, I want to see the movie regardless, but the main reason is because for my birthday, I got a coupon from a theater for a free large popcorn and a free large soda. And I want to take advantage of that.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. It expires 30 days after I got it. And I'm like, dang it, man. I want to use it, but we're already seeing too many movies this week. So Melissa's out. I might see it and take advantage of that free popcorn and soda.
Okay. Well, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Any other movies coming out? I have a list
of movies coming out.
Well, that I specifically want to see.
I think you've shared it before.
I have, but as you know, it's ever changing.
Okay.
But Tar is on there. I have on the list that it comes out October 7th because it did come out October 7th, but that was a limited release. Now it's worldwide, and that's tomorrow, or I guess technically today. And then The Banshees of Inisherin with Colin the
Farrell.
Irishman, yes. and other guy. Kind of want to see that. I don't know why, but I'm just like on a UK tip right now. Like I'm way too into things from the islands. So I kind of want to see that movie. I don't know why. I guess it's just I'm in a point right now, just like in this specific moment, like these past couple of weeks, where I just like really want to be anywhere other than here. I don't know why.
Jackson or the U.S.?
Jackson specifically. Like, this is really embarrassing. But was it yesterday? It was yesterday or a couple of days ago. I was on the Amtrak website, which is, they're the train people. And I wanted to know like how long it would take to take a train from Jackson to Chicago, because there is like a direct line from New Orleans up until I want to say Grand Rapids is like the cutoff point for that specific line. And I saw that it would take 4 hours and 30 minutes. And I was so excited. I was mentally planning a trip. I was texting my mom, like, yeah, we should go to Chicago for before Christmas break. And I was like, yes, this is amazing. I can travel to a place cheaply and quickly. And then I looked a little closely. It was in the morning. I was particularly tired that day. And I didn't notice that it was Jackson, Michigan, and not Jackson, Mississippi, because the code for that station is JXN, which, as you know, JXN is like shorthand specifically for Jackson, Mississippi. Ours is JAN, so that threw me off. And the actual time it takes to go from Jackson to Chicago is like 15 hours, and it will be overnight. So, yeah.
You said this is for a train or a bus?
A train. It actually takes less time to drive there. If you drove there, it would be 11 hours. But yeah, that legitimately ruined my day. So, yeah. I don't know. I've got some serious wanderlust, which usually I would hate that word, but it does accurately
You've been
reflect.
reading Eat, Pray, Love?
Yeah, I guess. Wouldn't want to go to India.
You're in your wine mom phase?
my 40-year-old wine mom phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to get a husband just so you can have an affair.
Is that what is that what 40-year-old wine moms do? They have affairs?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not objecting to that stereotype. It's actually quite funny to me. But yeah. So I've been interested in UK things right now.
Speaking of movies coming out,
a weird amount. Okay. Yes.
I guess I'll use the podcast to air this grievance.
Okay.
IMDb, it used to be like you'd see like coming soon to theaters, that section to see what was like coming out soon. And typically it was all the movies coming to theaters. But now it seems, I don't know how IMDb works, but now it seems like almost anyone and everyone can just like publish and be like, hey, my movie's coming to theaters. So like you'll see the randomest, indiest of the indies on there. And I'm like, and it makes it a lot harder to sift through and see what's coming out. And I'm really upset about that, because it's like, oh, Spider-Man 4, and obviously I know that's not real, but it's like a Spider-Man 4 fan film that someone just put on there. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot. No, I mean, these films aren't out yet, so I guess I can't speak to their quality, but just like maybe from like a budget value, it's like there's a lot of, it basically feels like there's a lot of trash like I have to like sift through now, and like I almost can't rely on the coming soon to theaters anymore, and instead just have to rely on what is out.
That coming soon section isn't just theaters. I'm pretty sure they have streaming stuff on there too.
So, no, they don't.
Really?
Yeah, they don't.
Huh. Okay. Well,
they have streaming stuff if it also comes to theaters, but it's like I don't know, for like a film like I don't know, Glass Onion, that's probably going to be on there
because it's getting a limited theater release. Yeah,
but like I don't know, To All the Boys I've Loved Before 4 or whatever before that's not gonna be on there unless it does get a theatrical release. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't think I've aired that grievance to anyone. So I wanted to, but it's like what is it? I don't know what the frick, like, I don't know if these movies are getting theatrical releases, but I don't know what the frick, like Call Jane, The Lair, My Special Boy, Um,
Now,
I'm
is
trying to
this
see what
just the
else.
US? Because I feel like sometimes on there I see international releases as well.
I think there are some international releases. I'm trying to find like the random stuff. Maybe like because it's like the holidays, there's less random stuff. But then it's also like it's hard to tell because I don't know what's what. You know what I mean?
What's actually coming.
Yeah.
And then it's even harder to find out what's actually coming because Mississippi does not get some of the big releases, and if they do, they get them weeks after the fact, a la
It's
Tar.
it's hard to distinguish big release from random movie. Like for like I don't know what the heck this is, but there's a movie coming out in January titled "Fuck Them All: The Story of Heaven and Hell: The Making of a Ballet." Is that
Might
getting
be
a
a
theatrical
documentary.
release? Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to air that. You should do the intro.
Okay, well, I had something to add. The thing about IMDb is that it is primarily user submitted. However, there is still like a vetting process there. So you would think, with the stuff that goes in the coming soon section, it's not just like, taking every title that's going to be released soon and like automatically populating it in a list.
Yeah.
I think there's like probably some more stuff that goes on there.
Well, this is a recent change, like in the past like month or two, that like it's become a lot more like crowded and saturated and like.
Also, IMDb is now owned by Amazon, so what we're seeing here might be a lot of Amazon Prime shovelware, if I had to guess.
Still, I mean, the banner still says coming soon to theaters.
Yeah, and a lot of, because I mean, before some movies you have like the Amazon Prime promo stuff, so maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe coming soon to theaters counts as like, an indie movie having a one night release or something.
Probably. Like some, Boy Sam is like, hey, my short film played in, we got a theater. Put it on IMDb. Let the people know, know?
That sounded shady.
It wasn't supposed
to. Have to oof his name out.
I don't know. That's your call, but it wasn't supposed to be shady. It was more just like speaking like anyone can do it, and I don't know. It's almost like it seems like it's like self-moderated all of a sudden, where like anyone can be like, yeah, mine's playing in a theater,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is sort of kind of self-moderated when you have stuff like short films. Because for my job, I had to put something on. Well, I didn't have to. I decided to do it for myself. But I put something on IMDb, and I mean, it's just like a YouTube series that we have. It's not being shown on television or in a theater anywhere, but,
Well, I guess I still want to move on, but
yeah.
I want to reiterate, it wasn't always like this.
Yeah.
There was a recent change. I want to know what changed, what caused this change, because it's kind of annoying and slightly inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, intro time.
Yeah.
We're at the big 30th episode of the Not Just Arin podcast. I am Arin, and you are?
Not Arin.
Great. We finally did it for the 30th episode. I was thinking about this, and I don't know how you feel about this. We can talk about this later, but I kind of want to, like, rent out a studio and do, like, a video version for, like, a special episode. There is a place we can do that here, and it's not expensive. Well, I don't know how much you think, like, $100 an hour is, but it's not an hour. It's like $100 and then some other stuff like an hour. But whatever. We can talk about it later.
Okay.
I think it would be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, because my camera, it doesn't record for long stretches. Yours does, the one that I gave you, because it has a patch on there, but I can't patch mine, which is very unfortunate, but we can move on. So, we got a lot of updates. A lot of updates this week. There'll probably be more stuff to happen next week, considering some of the stuff we're going to be talking about. But first one, we're going to start off light. Last week you said, they're probably not going to announce Sims 5 at the Sims Summit. And guess what? They did. They didn't call it The Sims 5. It has a project name. It's Project Renee. And we only saw like not even a few minutes, just like a minute or so of gameplay footage. And I could go on about it, but considering you don't care, I'm going to give you the bullet points list. I think it looks fine. They haven't shown us anything from like the sim side of it. So like create a sim. Really, it was just build by stuff. So like building houses and decorating them. Honestly, graphics wise, it kind of just looked like The Sims 4, which, I mean, makes sense. It is in the very, very early stages of development, so it makes sense that it doesn't have like a major graphical update yet. That'll probably come down the line. But I mean, right now, I don't really have a lot to say about it because there is so little that's out there. We just have the project name. We saw some things. I could get into the Paralives comparison, but I'm not going to because I could go far too long.
I want to give you a correction. I never said they weren't going to announce it.
You said they probably weren't going to, and that it was going to be.
Did I?
Nothing burger. Yeah, probably.
I don't.
You did.
Probably.
No,
I don't think I did.
I misspoke. You did.
I don't think I did.
I didn't have time to go back and listen to the other episode because I knew you were going to do this, but you did. So they probably aren't.
I don't believe you.
Okay. You cannot believe me.
But I don't know. Like, I mean, we can just disagree and leave it at that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But
okay,
I'm gonna say I didn't say that.
Okay.
And you're gonna say I
that
did.
You did.
But neither of us really know. Yeah, shut up.
I edit these. Well, let me correct myself. Our producer edits these episodes, and they tell me everything that goes on in them. Because I have to write the description for the episode on each platform.
Arin, I will freaking pull up this episode right now.
Okay.
God damn it. Okay.
Hold on. This energy is unwarranted.
You need. So is yours.
I mean, the last episode was like an hour and 30 minutes. You're gonna sit here for an hour and 30 minutes.
I'm gonna skim. We're gonna hear the episode through the mics. It's gonna be deep fried. 2 layers of deep frying. I searched your channel on accident.
Okay.
Does
it actually come up when you search for it? I haven't.
It was the previous episode, right? It was
the last episode that we did.
Okay. I wish there were timestamps, but I'm gonna have to hear it to skip it.
You asked the question.
I'm gonna say in my research.
What research? You haven't even
You want to listen to the whole thing?
No, because since you want to be right.
Let me think. So we got to listen to this whole thing.
You can put it on 2 times speed.
It's not that I don't find it interesting. Okay.
Anyway, Kanye West, he's doing his Kanye best to hit.
It doesn't sound like I did.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we move on now?
Yeah.
Okay. Gee, what? Sims 5.
All right, so
it's on the horizon. End of news. Next segment.
All
Kanye
right,
West.
so that was episode
Actually,
30.
I don't want to talk about Kanye West. That has a lot going for it. I want to talk about the shorter stuff first. But yeah, let's talk about Kanye. Why not? So, Kanye West trying his Kanye best to ruin his Kanye reputation and end his Kanye career. It's a throwback to last episode.
We just heard this. Yeah.
Exactly. I know. Anyway, a lot has happened since we recorded that. I don't know how much you've been keeping up with it, but Kanye has basically lost everything. So all of his sponsorships are gone. His lawyer left him. He's been dropped by his talent agency. There's a list.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look it up because I want to be correct. But there have been big developments, I believe yesterday, because yesterday is when Adidas dropped him. And that was a big deal because that is how he sells his Yeezys. So, and people really like those for some reason, even though I find the design strange. But let's see. All right, so as of a day ago, Adidas, Balenciaga, Gap, Anna Wintour, who is the editor-in-chief for Vogue, and she's the one who invites everyone to the Met Gala. So all that's happened. Let's see. So Creative Artists Agency, that's his talent agency. His lawyer, I'm not sure why he had a lawyer. I guess he just had one on retainer. But his lawyer was the same woman who represented Johnny Depp. I just forgot her name. Let's see. So Adidas, that's Yeezys, Vogue and Anna Wintour, Met Gala, Balenciaga. I believe the last major event that he was at was that Balenciaga one because that's a picture that every news outlet is using when they talk about him. Gap, somehow there are Yeezy clothes being sold at Gap, which I don't know if you know the type of clothing that gets sold at Gap, but I can only describe it as 3rd grade teacher chic. So to have Yeezys be sold there, that feels strange to begin with.
Gap is 3rd grade teacher chic?
Yeah, they sell a bunch of, really plain khakis, button downs, things like
I
that.
feel like they have slightly more than that, but
I mean, they have Yeezys, so apparently they do, but that's what I associate the Gap with.
Hmm.
CAA, which is Creative Artist Agency, his divorce lawyers. Now that's interesting. I thought it was just his regular lawyers. It's not. New York divorce attorneys Bernard Clare and Bob Cohen. J.P. Morgan and Chase, which is a bank. So I don't even know like what that entails. Did they just close out his account? Did they just mail him a check and be like, go somewhere else? You know, MRC Entertainment. They were making a documentary about him, a different one from Genius, which is already out. So that's like done and done. But there's a documentary being made about him. It was almost done. In fact, I believe it was ready to be shown, and they dropped him like completely. He's been banned from Instagram and Twitter. And that is mostly it. And this is from yesterday. So I believe
the
we're...
list is from yesterday.
Yes, this article. So we're up to date from at least yesterday. There might have been more that's gone on. So today, something wild, wacky, crazy, and insane that he did was he showed up to Skechers headquarters unannounced, which, yeah, I know, Skechers. Unannounced and, like, had to be escorted out. Now, something I didn't know, which kind of, you know, makes this make sense, is that Skechers is a company founded by Jewish people. So obviously they're not like okay with him and all of his doings. So yeah, he's been dropped by basically everyone since I guess like 2 weeks ago.
So wait, what did like I need more details about the Skechers. What did he do there?
He showed up unannounced and had to be escorted out.
Well, like, did he have a meeting?
No, it was unannounced. He was not invited.
But did he like get in the building? Did he say
hi?
He got in the
building,
did he say hi to someone? Like,
I don't know, Joseph. Not a lot of details have been released.
I don't know what he was there for. Like,
I'm assuming he was there to get somebody to sell his shoes. That's the only thing I can think of, considering Adidas dropped him yesterday.
It's quite ironic you see the irony, correct?
No.
What's
the irony?
What got him in this hot water is making like, I guess, anti-Semitic remarks. Mm-hmm. And then I guess he goes to a Jewish company like, hey man, all my brands drop me. Can you help can you help a brother out? Like,
I suppose I can see it there.
Yeah. It's kind of funny.
I didn't know that Skechers was run by like a Jewish family because I didn't know that either. All I know is that they're like dad shoes.
And mom shoes.
Parent shoes. So yeah, that's our Kanye update. Again, like I said last time, I genuinely don't know where this is going. I guess I could.
Well, I feel like even you're leaving some stuff out.
Like what?
Not intentionally, just maybe you don't know. Like, well, I guess what I'd heard basically most of that. I knew brands were dropping him. I knew that much.
He was at Skechers headquarters with a film crew.
Interesting.
Extra interesting because I really want to see it.
So it seems potentially antagonistic.
Probably.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, yeah.
Okay.
So if that, recording ever gets released, I want to see it. I'm like morbidly curious. I want to know what happened.
Well, what I thought you were going to talk about is like, aside from the brand stuff, what I had seen was some YouTube videos of like, I guess, I don't remember where this was, but I guess some racist people coming out and like putting like a sign on a highway where they were like, Kanye's right about the Jews.
Yeah.
And then it seems like his comments, unfortunately, are kind of like emboldening these people to like also share their opinions and anti-Semitic thoughts and opinions, anti-Semitism.
Well, I left that part out somewhat intentionally because I didn't want to like get really deep into it because I feel like I can talk for a while about this, and
I feel like it's a big part. If we're actually updating the story, I feel like it's personally to me like the biggest update of the story. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I don't necessarily care what happens to Kanye, but I feel like I feel like if his words are influencing others or inspiring others to like take action, I feel like it could be similar to what is it, the rise in like violence against like Asian people towards near the ending of COVID or whatever, where it's like
during the beginning. I know it's been a while. It's been 2 years.
I mean, it might. Well,
It's been a long 2 years.
I feel like it was more in like early 2021 is what I remember.
Well, if we want to talk about acts of violence, then yeah, maybe then. But there's been an anti-Asian sentiment ever since Trump started calling it the China virus. So,
well, I think I'm not just talking about sentiment. I'm talking about like acts, like aggression and assault.
Yeah.
I remember that being more in 2021. But yeah, so I think that's where I'm curious of like, will it get to that point? So to me, I feel like that's the biggest part of the story. Kanye losing a lot. Like, what is it? I think I saw that he had like lost like 1.5 billion of his net worth.
Yeah, no.
I don't know how much his net worth is.
I think his net worth was that much, and now he's no longer a billionaire. So I feel like, I don't know.
Are you a billionaire just based on your net worth?
Yeah.
Oh. Thought it's actually having $1 billion. I don't know how net worth works.
Very few billionaires actually have $1 billion just sitting in a bank account. It's mostly assets, stocks, and real estate and businesses and stuff like that.
Interesting. Well, yeah. I mean, both parts are important.
Mm-hmm. So specifically, what you're talking about, that was Los Angeles, and that was on the 405 freeway, which is like one of the most trafficked roads in the LA area. And there are some people, they hung like some bed sheets over the railing, I guess, that said honk if you think Kanye was right about the Jews, and then some like anti-Semitic word, and then one Revelations verse and one Romans verse. I can't remember what the verses were, but I feel like it was Revelations 3 some. It's not important. Well, yes, it is important. Now I want to know. But yeah, 2 Bible verses there, and obviously some people took some pictures of it traveling on the 405. But yeah, it's exactly what you said. Like, now, this isn't just affecting Kanye at this point, because people are taking what he's saying like seriously, even though I feel like most of us should know at this point that Kanye West is like a deeply mentally ill person. So I feel like, again, being mentally ill doesn't make you do this stuff, but I feel like that should remove some of his credibility. But for some reason, a lot of right-wingers are just like rolling with it. So that's definitely...
I wouldn't say a lot of.
The GOP is like in support of him.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Tell me. GOP, that's the Republican Party. GOP stands for good old.
The entire GOP.
The official representative of the GOP, which is their Twitter account, which, despite what you think, is important.
What do you mean? Wait, can you hold up? What do you mean, despite what I think?
You tend to, when I say something happened on Twitter, you're like, oh, that's just Twitter. It's just
random people, like,
yeah.
I don't know.
This is from, they tweeted out was like,
it's more like what's trending on Twitter, or just like random users on Twitter. I guess I can acknowledge that, like, I don't know, important people are on Twitter, and like there can be some knowledge found on there. I just feel like overall, like, the website is like, I don't even know, 90 or 99% trash.
Did they delete it? Hold on. Because I looked it up.
So.
Yeah, so they tweeted out something which admittedly kind of cryptic, but it just says Kanye, Elon, Trump. Oh, this is the judiciary GOP. So that's a bit different from the official GOP, but it's still, the judiciary GOP. I legit don't know what it means, because they just tweeted out those 3 words, but it seems to be in support of, these 3 people. So.
It seems to be?
Yeah, because why else would they be tweeting his name out there like that, Elon is like the really favored on like Republican and right-wing circles for some reason. I don't know why, because he panders to them, that's why. And of course Trump is their guy, and Kanye, this was October 6th, so I think this was not long after he wilded out, and maybe before he was banned on Twitter.
Okay, so
and then there are other politicians who seem.
Do we have any, like, I don't know. There's no update on that tweet or something?
Well, I mean, I thought it was from the GOP Twitter account, but it is from the House Judiciary. However, the GOP Twitter account is, I feel like they put it in the hands of like some Gen Zer, because for some reason they're like always wilding out in the quote tweets. It's weird, like in a way that an official government body should not be. Like they're acting like a brand account, like, you know, Sunny D and like Steakums.
Wendy's.
Yeah, which to me feels really strange, because when I think Republican Party, I do not think of Gen Z.
Okay.
Strangely enough, even though there is a fair amount of our generation in there. So.
Well, I guess I'll say that.
Oh, I was trying to look up the Bible verses.
Like, I guess this goes into what I guess my opinions on Twitter, but like the judiciary, is that what you said?
Yes.
Judiciary GOP Twitter account does not, whatever their tweet means, does not like speak for all Republicans. And then
no, it doesn't.
And then also, what is it? Even though a lot of Republicans love Trump, like not all of them do. Like,
yeah, and I understand that, but they do. The ones that do love Trump, they have a lot of influence right now. And considering the midterms are coming up, which I wasn't going to talk about it, but I guess we're talking about it now. Considering the midterms are coming up, there are a not insignificant amount of, I don't even know what to call them. I mean, at this point, they transcend Republicanism into something completely different. Those kind of people like Herschel Walker, Dr. Oz for some reason, Carrie Lake, all those cohort of Republicans, they're all running in Senate and gubernatorial races. And there is a not insignificant chance they might win. Polls are showing like 50-50 right now. But of course, you know, don't trust the polls, they say. So the two Bible verses are Revelations 3:9 and John 8:44. And I don't know what they are. And I want to know.
Well, I think, what is it? While you're looking that up, I just think like I think it's important when talking about like these like sensitive topics, like I don't know, I just feel like it's important not to generalize, like, and to maybe like represent the facts as accurately as possible, where it's like you make a statement and then like I don't know how the audience hears it necessarily, but like how I hear it is you're like, oh, Republicans are supporting Kanye, so then like I hear it as like
notice I didn't say all Republicans, I just said Republicans, which could mean a subset of them.
Well, I think me personally, I think I'd rather, like, if I made that statement, if I'm like Republicans are supporting Kanye, I feel like I would say,
which is not even an inaccurate statement.
Okay, you're cutting me off.
I know, but continue.
So yeah, but don't I personally prefer to be specific and just say like there are some Republicans or a handful of Republicans that are supporting Kanye, but I wouldn't just say Republicans, you know.
Okay, even though, like I said, not an inaccurate statement to make. Also, the Republican Party these days, it's a far cry from like George Bush and 1 and 2 and like who came before them? Reagan? No.
We should probably move on.
Anyway, Revelation 3:9, King James Version. I don't like that version. Whatever, we're going to read it anyways. It says, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet and to know that I have loved thee." Don't even know what that means in context. But
it's Revelation?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems... Yeah, I want to pull it up too.
Which, by the way, something that I learned in my biblical schooling in college is that Revelation is an apocalyptic text, almost like I think what Ezekiel or yeah, whatever. That there wasn't a point I was trying to make. That's just the kind of literature it is.
I feel like doesn't everyone know it's an apocalyptic text?
I don't think so. Apocalyptic, in the way that I'm saying it, it means something specific. Like, okay, yes, okay, this is great. I love talking about theology. So, apocalyptic in this setting, it means something different from what we think apocalypse means. Because when we say apocalypse, we mean end of the world, doom and gloom, but that's not what it like originally meant, if that makes sense. Really, it's just like kind of
Tell us what it originally meant. Don't just tell us.
I was doing that.
Okay.
It's kind of just like a prophecy, I guess, of sorts. It doesn't necessarily mean like doom and gloom. However, considering that one of the more notable apocalyptic texts that we have is the Book of Revelation, and it does spell out doom and gloom for people, that's what we take it to mean.
Okay.
Oh, don't fall.
What's the verse again?
Revelation 3:9. I'm gonna go to the full chapter because
That could be the devil talking. 3:9.
And unto the angel of the church in Sardis, right? These things. Okay, I can't do the King James version. I just can't. Where's here we go, ESV.
It seems like the verse is taken like so out of context, like even the the anti-Semitics don't understand it.
Well,
because it seems like the verse is in support of Jews. I went with the NIV.
okay.
And it says, I will make those who are of the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews, though they are not, but are liars. I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. So it's like the Jews aren't bad guys.
So does yours have like headings?
Yeah, I think so. To the angel of the church in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So this says, to the church in Sardis, to the church of Laodicea, this is the whole chapter, and to the church of Philadelphia, which I think I skipped over. So I'm assuming, again, I'm not about to read all of this, but if I had to guess, these are specific churches that are not doing godly things. If I had to just go off of
I don't think so.
Let's see. And to the angel of the church of Philadelphia, write the words of the Holy One, the true one, who has the key of David, who opens and no one will shut, who shuts and no one opens.
These are words of encouragement, I think, to the churches.
That was a big assumption I was doing there.
Yeah.
So the other one is, what did I say? Romans? No.
Well, anyway,
8:44. It is Romans.
It seems very. I mean, I guess I've said this already, but it seems very out of context because it seemed like they're trying to make the verse sound like Jews are bad guys, but like the verse in context is like the Jews aren't bad guys, but people pretending to be Jews are bad guys, you know?
Yeah.
So that's somewhat funny.
John 8:44 is, you belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and a father of lies. Don't know who said that. Don't know who's being talked to. Okay, this is Jesus.
That's why you pull up the full chapter.
Well, Joseph, you are a step ahead of me. It says, but Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. That is 8:1. John 8:1. And he's talking about something. And then there's dispute over Jesus' testimony. Okay, apparently John is quite a long chapter. It's not a synoptic gospel, by the way. Wait, that's not true. Wait, Matthew, Mark, Luke. Yeah, it is.
So John 8:44 is the other one that they had on the thing?
Yes.
I don't know what they're trying to get across to that. I guess maybe they're implying Jews are of the devil.
Okay, so the heading before this is dispute over whose children Jesus' opponents are. Yes. Oh, these are about the Jewish people that didn't, I guess, believe Jesus was the Messiah. Again, fat assumption here. It starts, to the Jews who had believed him, Jesus said, if you hold to my teaching, you are really my disciples, and you know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And they answered, we are Abraham's descendants, and we've never been slaves of anyone. How can you say that we shall be set free? And then Jesus said, very truly, I tell you, everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Now a slave has no permanent place in the family, but a son belongs to it forever. So if the son sets you free, you'll be free indeed. Son meaning him, assuming. I know that you are Abraham's descendants. You were looking for a way to kill me because you have no room for my word. Oh, I think this is before he's like about to get executed.
It seems like this is like a metaphorical disagreement because the Jews are like, they're like, yo, we're saved. We're children of Abraham. And Jesus is like, yeah, you're saved if you believe in me. And they're like, but we're children of Abraham. And they just keep going back and forth.
Okay.
But Jesus is like, yeah, you are, but like you're only saved if there's this, you know what I mean? I find it this verse, I mean, I feel like any verse that's just like singular is kind of always taken out of context.
Yeah.
I guess
Jesus wept. That's a verse.
Indeed. I guess it just seems like the I guess anti-Semitics are implying that these, I don't know, all Jewish people maybe are of the devil. I find it very ironic that the very verse before this one is, why is my language not clear to you, because you are unable to hear what I say.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Which anti-Semitism to me doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. But also,
I mean, does like anti-black people make sense to you?
Okay, I'm gonna say yes. That doesn't mean I agree with it. However, given a historical standpoint, it does make sense, because for a point in time, Black people, specifically in America, were literally property. They did not have personhood status. So for that belief to endure, then yeah, I could see how a person could come to the conclusion that Black people are less than. Again, I don't agree with it, obviously. I think it sucks, but I know how that came about. However,
I mean, what about, well, I guess like then historically it's like what is it? Jewish people in the Holocaust. It's like they weren't people, they were just like, I guess, dead bodies.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I don't know where it originates from. That's what I'm saying. Like, a group of people can hate another group of people, but like, where did it start? And as I understand it, anti-Semitism has been a thing for like over 1,000 years, for like a really long time, as long as Jewish people have existed. But I want to know why.
Maybe it started with Jews.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
What do you mean?
That
Well,
sounds
like,
so bad.
well, I'm not like a Bible scholar, but like Jesus, I feel like, oh God, I feel like Melissa's definitely going to correct me later if I'm wrong about this, because I feel like she knows a good bit more than me. But like reading those Bible verses, like it seems like Jesus is kind of like not intentionally, but like almost like pitting Jews against Jews, if that makes sense. Like like the chosen
ones who follow
Jews
him and the ones who don't.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like maybe that's where it started. Like,
well, I mean, that's
we like these Jews, but we don't like those Jews.
Yeah, that's specifically Christian anti-Semitism, I think, if you're coming from a Christian perspective. But
yeah,
Judaism existed first, so like, where does that fit in?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that one.
Yeah. So like Christian anti-Semitism, I mean, I can understand the starting point for that, because, you know, the Jews killed Jesus, therefore we hate them, despite the fact he was a Jew. But
yeah.
So like I can get from point A to point B there, but I don't know what the point A is for like ancient anti-Semitism, I guess. So yeah, I guess I would have to read more about it, but it still sucks though. Cause like, I don't know, man. I feel like Jewish people have gotten it enough. You know, they've been through a lot. I don't know why we can't cut them a break. Like, gosh, you know? Which, it is a weird statement to make, but like, I don't know. Anti-Semitism has existed for a very long time. Which I guess just goes back to what I just said. But yeah, Jewish people, they just deserve happiness at this point. Because like, it's just never ending. Which I guess that could be said about any other discriminated people group, but for Jewish people,
that could be said about the world.
Yeah, I guess. But I feel like for Jewish people, it's so prevalent because they get it from everybody. You know,
even you,
me.
No, that's everybody.
Well, you know what I mean. We haven't talked about Black Hebrew Israelites, have we? Because that's the perspective that Kanye is coming from. Because there's a belief among Black Hebrew Israelites that Black people were the original Jews, and then white people came and something, therefore they're evil, which not necessarily true. That's specifically different from Black Jewish people, by the way. Two completely different groups. There are Black Jewish people, and then there are Black Hebrew Israelites, and they're like specifically a hate group. So you can be Black and Jewish and not be a Black Hebrew Israelite, is what I'm saying. So yeah. I mean, that's just it's a very simplified way to explain it. And I brought it up specifically because Kanye said that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll move on. How long have we been going for? 52 minutes. Goodness.
Wait. Before, what are we moving on to before we move on?
Oh my God. I forgot his name for like 2 seconds.
Elon Musk
buying Twitter. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
honestly, I don't have a lot to say about that.
That's good.
Other than the deadline is tomorrow.
Before we move on.
Yeah.
I just think this is funny.
Okay.
Going back to Kanye. There's an old saying, you know, it goes,
all toasters toast toast.
No, I was going to say it goes, what?
Well, you know what they say? All toasters toast toast. It's an old YouTube poop reference.
Okay.
Continue. I'm sorry. that really derailed it.
There's an old, I feel like there's an old saying. Mm-hmm. It goes, fuck around, find out.
Yeah. Kanye's in the find out phase.
Found out. No, I feel like, what is it? I saw there's a YouTube channel I like that basically used that saying for the Alex Jones like news stories.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really funny. So I guess I wanted to use it for this. But
you know he has to pay $1 billion.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was really funny.
Let's see. Yeah. And that's only one trial.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get on Alex Jones.
Yeah, I know, but it's so. Apparently, also, I looked this up because I wanted to know. That's not the biggest payout from a civil lawsuit. I think the biggest one is like $100 billion or something crazy like that. And I think it was a class action. I can't remember because it's been a while. But yeah, $1 billion is a lot. And guess what? He deserves it.
So Elon Musk,
he's been this astonished me when I realized this, but this whole Elon buying Twitter thing started several months ago. Mm-hmm. And it's been going until now. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's honestly exhausting.
Business deals that are like how many billions of dollars?
44.
Yeah. I feel like
overvalued, by the way.
A business deal that is of that monetary value, I feel like will take a while. It's not like, you just go to the Twitter store.
That, though. It's because Elon was like going back and forth with, I'm going to buy it. Oops, changed my mind. Oops, changed my mind again. Oops, changed my mind. That's why it's been taking so long.
Okay.
And also because I guess most business dealings are done like not in the media. And this one has been very public because it's Elon Musk, I guess. So.
I think because it's $44 billion.
No. Companies have been bought for more.
Like what? And you're telling me it wasn't in the media?
Well, it was in the media, but that was when the deal was done, not like when it was still in talks. These things usually get reported on when like the deal has already happened. It's like,
you give examples?
Anytime a company has been bought.
Anytime.
Adobe recently bought Figma for like a couple billion.
44 or more?
Not 44, but a couple billion.
Uh-huh.
And that was only reported on after it happened.
Were you giving examples of
I don't pay attention to business.
I'm just saying, you're making statements, and I want them to be accurate.
All right, we can look it up. I'm going to do text-to-speech because I don't feel like...
Typing.
Most expensive business acquisition.
Now who's the mom?
Shut up.
I think typing with thumb and index finger is less mom-like than text-to-speech.
The largest ever acquisition was the 1999 takeover of Manus Man by Vodafone AirTouch PLC at $183 billion, 297.7 adjusted for inflation.
That is a lot.
So, list of largest mergers and acquisitions. Miss Wikipedia always comes through.
Okay, so I'm not saying that business deals for more haven't happened.
I'm just going to look at recent ones.
I'm just wondering if more bigger deals that happened weren't reported on as they were happening.
So let's see. These are all listed in billions, by the way. Pfizer buys Wyeth, which is another pharmaceutical. Transaction value, $68 billion. Mm-hmm. Comcast buying AT&T, 2001, $72 billion.
Okay, but did you hear me?
What? What did you say?
I'm not saying that there weren't bigger deals. Like, I believe that. But it's like bigger deals that like where they reported on as they were happening, not just after they happened. Or, yeah.
Not in my recent memory. I do remember when Yahoo bought Tumblr. I think that was for like some transaction involving Yahoo. That was like $2 billion. Just Yahoo. And I mean, it's Yahoo. And this is like post 2015.
But I'm wanting to be specific.
Okay, you're not talking about the figures. You're talking about the process.
The figures and the reporting. That's because you're saying like this Twitter deal is only be reporting on Elon. Because he's Elon. I feel like because he's Elon is a factor.
That's not what I meant. Not just because he's Elon, but because he brings all his business out into the public. Specifically that. Not just because it is Elon Musk.
Okay, I don't know.
And Elon must be doing Elon Musk things.
What you meant is up to you, but I'm just saying what you said, Arin.
Okay, that's what I said. This is what I meant. Therefore, we don't have to go into the weeds with it anymore because now we know what I mean.
Okay.
Because I explained myself.
Well, just say what you mean then.
Oh my God.
Not say something and then you have to elaborate because it sounds weird to me.
Okay. I'll spell everything out for you going forward if I remember to do so. So...
I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying, but...
Okay, recent memory, I think whenever Disney bought something, Fox maybe, they may have reported on that leading up to it actually happening. But by the time it had happened, there wasn't a whole lot of time between reporting on it happening and it happening. This has been dragging on for months. I'm talking about Disney Fox a couple weeks.
Okay, well, we can move on.
Within a month. I haven't even talked about what's going on.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying move on to the topic.
Yeah, so Elon's been in talks to buy Twitter for a while now. He was going to purchase it sight unseen for $44 billion, which at the time was overvalued. Now Twitter stock has gone down a bit, still overvalued. He was like, oh, wait, the bots. Wait, hold on, the bots, though. And you're like, but Elon, you said you were going to buy it without looking at all of that. And so that went on for a while. There was a court case. I don't even know if that's wrapped up anymore. Honestly, I'm so exhausted from looking at it. So yesterday or today, Elon showed up to Twitter headquarters carrying a stupid, I don't want to swear, but I feel like swear, carrying a sink. And he tweeted, just showed up at Twitter HQ, let that sink in, which I just
That's funny.
That, it's just that brand of millennial humor that has just started to grate on me. I found it endearing when I was like a teenager. Now I kind of hate it, but I don't know. It's especially annoying to me. I don't know. It's just, yeah. Not even because it's Elon, just because it's a corny joke. And it's like, sir, you're a business person. Business people are supposed to be boring. Can we go back to a time when business people were just boring and they just did the business and weren't like public figures? It would be such a simpler time, but whatever. Yeah, the deadline's tomorrow. I think he went through with it. He said also he was going to lay off 75% of staff, which this isn't like a merger, so there's not like redundancies. So I'm not even sure what that entailed. At first I thought he said that so that people would push back, but I mean, he said he was going to do this from a business standpoint. They can't just be like, okay, never mind, take backsies. He said he was going to buy it. Now he actually has to do it. There are no take backsies in business, I guess. Also, the thing that kind of rubs my potatoes and a few other people's, it irritates me.
That's not a saying.
I know, I made it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense. Anyway, something that irritates me is that Elon is saying he's gonna buy Twitter so that it can be a free speech space, even though it already is. And I feel like people, when they say, oh, there's no free speech online anymore, they misrepresent what the First Amendment actually says. And Twitter, a company, not the government, so they can do what they want. But if you think about it, and I have the receipts.
Well, doesn't that mean also Elon can do what he wants if he owns it?
Yes, but the way he's representing what he wants to do with Twitter is skewed a little, because he's saying like, the free market of ideas, and the internet town square and all that. But then he's also talking about unbanning Trump and letting anyone say whatever, basically, no matter how hateful it might be or whether or not it incites an insurrection.
But it's a company, he can do whatever he wants.
I suppose so. But also as a company, when you are in charge of something as large as Twitter, it kind of feels like you have a personal responsibility to not let stuff like that happen, not let racism and anti-Semitism.
A company
and
has a
stuff like that
responsibility
run
to make
rampant.
money. A company doesn't have any other responsibility.
I know, but I'm talking from a purely moral standpoint.
Companies don't have morals.
I suppose that's true, but the thing about Elon Musk and free speech, him being like a free speech supporter, is that it's not necessarily true. I have a Twitter thread. I shall read it. So, Elon Musk. This is from, what's today? Today's 27th? Yeah, this is from today. Elon Musk, this is from @JoshuaP.Hill. I'm giving you your credit there, person. Elon Musk is, again, claiming that he's all about free speech. So let's look at the record. Here are a thread with just a few examples of the countless examples. I read that wrong. Here's a thread with just a few of the countless examples showing he couldn't care less about it. Number 1, there's the time he called Vernon Unsworth, who is the guy who rescued were they in Thailand? Yes, the boys trapped in the mine in Thailand because it flooded and they had to get them out. He called them, rescued 12 boys trapped in a mine in Thailand. Elon Musk called this guy a pedo guy and paid $50,000 to an investigator to dig up Unsworth's life. Why? Because Unsworth called his failed attempt to help the boys himself a PR stunt. Because what happened is that around this time, when was this? It doesn't say the year. It was a few years ago. Elon Musk was developing a tiny submarine and doing a bunch of publicity about how he was gonna get the kids out the mine. But this guy, who's an experienced diver, was saying this isn't gonna work. The channels are too small. It's not flexible enough to go around all the cracks and stuff. And he called it a PR stunt because it was pretty transparently a PR stunt. I mean, it just seemed like it at the time. And so on Twitter, he called him a pedo because the guy was in Thailand, because Thailand does have a pretty high sex trafficking or sex tourism industry. People go there to sleep with prostitutes, and sometimes those prostitutes are underage. And Elon was alleging that that's what Vernon Unsworth was doing there. And they actually went to court. Vernon Unsworth sued him for libel or slander, which one is applicable in this situation, and I believe he won for it, for insinuating that he was a pedophile and not, just trying to get these kids out of a mine. That's number 1. Number 2.
Who won?
Vernon Unsworth. Either he won or they settled out of court. Either way, it didn't go favorably.
Can we know
for Elon
for sure which happened?
Look it up. Look up the lawsuit. Elon Musk, Vernon Unsworth lawsuit.
Give me a second. So wait, how is that Elon? What part of that story is him being against free speech? Oh, I guess. Yeah, never mind. I get it now. He said Elon's thing was a PR stunt, and then he tried to
ruin his life, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
So, number 2, there is the story of John Bernal, who was fired 6 days after posting a YouTube video of a Tesla account, and there's a link to a CNBC article. Tesla fired an employee after he posted driverless tech reviews on YouTube. This reminds me, there was a time some weeks ago when people were testing out self-driving by using child-sized dummies and posting them on YouTube, and Elon got them taken down. And that happened rather recently, I believe. It was this year, definitely.
Wait, what's the guy's name again?
The first one?
Yeah.
Vernon Unsworth. Vernon spelled regularly, and Unsworth, Unsworth.
You completely told the story wrong.
What is it?
Elon won the case.
What's that? Elon Musk did not defame a British caver who helped last year. Vernon Unsworth sought $190 million or 145 million pounds in damages. What does it say? What does the article say?
Click the article. It's a little bit longer than I thought. It's sort of in bullet points, but yeah, I guess basically it says he won the case. A U.S. jury, I guess, found him not guilty. You can take a look at it if you want. I don't know if it's a guilt thing or whatever, but the jury sided with him. Yeah, that's when it happened, right?
Yeah, okay. And then he tried to claim that the phrase pedo guy was common in South Africa, which not. Let's see.
You know that for sure?
It's not. And then it says,
I mean, that's what you. That's what you said. I don't know if it is or isn't. I'm just saying that's what you said about me earlier, where it's like I said something that I said I didn't say, and you were like, you did. And it's like, do you have any evidence? And you're like, you just did. You know. Now, I mean, I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
We can move on to the next one. Now I can listen, but
so
again.
Okay. So there was the YouTube videos and then the self-driving child dummy ones.
Wait. Give me a second. So I feel like I just want to clearly
still
state
on number one.
I am.
Like
I feel like, well, maybe we shouldn't go through all of them, but I
was just gonna read through them.
Clearly state that you were like the case did not go favorably for Elon because you said either the other guy won it or they settled out of court, but Elon actually won it.
Okay.
So
it happened in 2019. It was a while ago.
Okay. Well,
I forget things.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I think I just wanted to say that for the audience's sake because you did say it pretty definitively.
Okay. Also, I should point out the audience also has the ability to look things up. And if I get things wrong, they can tell me and I will correct myself. The power is in their hands there. And, you know, when I edit these episodes, I go through and look for things. And sometimes I will text you like randomly out of the blue to tell you about stuff that we talk about in the episode. And I mean, this hasn't really happened enough for me to do it like often, but if I do get something wrong, I will put a note in the description saying this is inaccurate.
I think, okay. I think I'm saying it just for the audience's sake, just because if I'm the audience, I don't want to go look something up.
We have two different listening experiences because when things are mentioned,
depends what
I like
it is
to learn more about things.
But it depends what it is. Well, I feel what is it? Obviously, we're not like a news podcast, but if we're talking about news related topics and then we misrepresent them, I feel like it is our responsibility to correct them.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now I want to go on a different tangent. So,
well, I also want to say
to Elon Musk at all.
So wait, I also want to say that our audience, for the most part, at least the ones that text me, don't read the description. So, yeah. Anyways,
this is going to be short, I promise. So, some people, especially when it comes to the commentary / drama side of YouTube, are surprised, shocked, appalled that sometimes YouTubers are biased when they talk about things, which I think is a little silly because you're approaching these types of videos the way that you approach journalism. Journalists are held to a code of ethics. YouTubers are not. They can be biased about things and it can be fine. So I really don't get it when people like say that. And I don't know why this has been on the brain recently because there hasn't been like an instance of that happening for me to be thinking about it, but I was thinking about it and I wanted to talk about it. So we can move on. Number 3.
I want to respond. Okay. I feel like just because we're not held to a code of ethics doesn't mean we shouldn't be. Like,
I mean, I guess, but I'm talking specifically about bias. You know, if I was working for the Associated Press, I couldn't call Elon Musk a doo-doo head. You know, but since I don't, I'm just a person on the internet talking. I can say he's a doo-doo head.
What does that have to do with bias? Like you have a bias against him?
I do personally.
And that allows you to call him a doo-doo head because you're not a journalist? Because
I'm not held to a code of ethics. So I can just say like, Elon Musk sucks. If somebody posted that and published that in like a newspaper or something, they'd likely get in trouble for it. So that's why there's a lot of allegedlys in the news. Because
Elon Musk allegedly sucks.
Yeah, sure. Because I believe it's either a law or there has to be some kind of legal precedent for it. But if someone hasn't been convicted of a crime, you like can't say that they did it. That's why, you know, there's the word allegedly is like thrown around a lot in the news. So, yeah. And people on YouTube have picked it up because there have been some especially litigious people out there who do actually go after people for saying things, no matter if they're like true or not. So, and I had to deal with one actually. So,
well, in case the audience didn't know, we're not journalists. We're not held to a code of ethics, but I don't know. I think it still stands like that. I don't know. The facts are the facts, and I guess I just don't want them to be misrepresented to the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 2.
No, well, we already talked about number 2.
Well, I wasn't listening because I was still looking up the case.
Okay.
So I need to hear it again.
So there's the story of John Bernal, again, don't know how to say his name, who was fired 6 days after posting a YouTube video of a Tesla accident. And then I mentioned the child-sized dummies that people were using to test out full self-driving. And then there's Martin Tripp, a technician at a Tesla plant in Nevada who blew the whistle on the company. Musk allegedly hired people, there's that word again, allegedly hired people to hack and spy on Tripp after he cast doubts on Tesla's environmental credentials. Number 4, Musk is also anti-free speech when it comes to labor organizing. He's very anti-union. But that's not in the tweet. That's me adding that. Which, I mean, at some point, if you are like a burgeoning young capitalist like Elon Musk is, it kind of is not in your best interest to allow people to unionize. Because that means you have to actually treat them properly, and that affects your bottom line. So again, like anti-Semitism sucks. But, well, okay, not anti-Semitism, but racism against Black people. I know the point A and the point B. However, still sucks. People who are anti-union also suck. That includes Walt Disney. We gotta move on. I was gonna bring something up, but we gotta move on. The Red Scare was a wild time, but again, we gotta move on. Let's see. Did I read all of that? Okay, Tesla worker Richard Ortiz was fired for trying to organize with United Auto Workers, a move that was declared illegal by a labor board. Number 5, there's the time Tesla asked China to censor comments that were critical of the company. Let's see. And there's an article here. It says, Tesla's China falls from grace, shows parallels of betting on Beijing. And that's from Bloomberg. There's also the time Tesla tried to out an anonymous Tesla critic and skeptical investor who goes by Montana Skeptic to their employer. Not sure what that one's about. And then number 7, he's tried to use Twitter itself to suppress worker speech and organizing, a move deemed illegal by the NLRB. What is NLRB? It said it somewhere. It didn't say it. Never mind. And then this person wrote something for The Independent back when all this started. And that's the end of the thread. Well, there's another tweet. It says, hope it goes without saying this is much bigger than one billionaire being a fraud and a liar. Our public squares and media platforms should be not-for-profit entities. Not be for-profit entities, and they certainly shouldn't be controlled by the richest people on earth, which that's a very hard anti-capitalist stance to take that this person has taken.
I don't know all the business about Twitter before buying it, but is it like naive? Because isn't Twitter already for-profit and owned by very rich people?
Well, here's the thing. Sort of. But also Twitter was one of those companies that like straight up does not turn a profit because the product that they have is like free to use. So Twitter, kind of like YouTube, which also was not profitable for a really long time. The only revenue they would get was from advertising until they introduced a lot of stuff like super chats and the join button and all that stuff. A lot of companies aren't profitable in the way that you would think they are. But now Twitter has introduced stuff like Twitter Blue. They obviously run advertising on there. And super follows, which are basically like, I don't know how they operate, but you got to pay for
even
them.
If it wasn't profitable, that doesn't mean I feel like it's always been for profit, even if it's not profitable.
Well, I mean, I guess technically speaking, it's not a 501c3, so.
What's that?
A nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
That's like the tax code for it.
Yeah.
Which means that they don't have to pay tax. No, that's not what that means at all. I don't know. Nonprofit organization, 501c3. I think churches, their designation is 501 something something, and then there are different types of nonprofit organizations, but the most common one when you think of a charity or a nonprofit organization is 501c3.
I mean, I feel like you could compare Twitter to like Wikipedia. Wikipedia is nonprofit.
No, it isn't. But I feel like the function of Wikipedia and the function of Twitter is like very different because I feel like
they can have different functions, but both be nonprofit.
I know, but the intentions feel different for me because I feel like Twitter, it's like a new social media on the block, whereas Wikipedia, this could be very naive of me because I like Wikipedia very much. I think it's a very necessary thing that exists. But I feel like that, its purpose isn't, its purpose feels inherently charitable because it's offering information to the masses, So even though it's not, actually, no, the Wikimedia Foundation, that might actually be a charity. So that might not be super, let me see.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not...
Because Wikipedia, it's wikipedia.org. And to have a .org domain, you have to be a charity.
I'm just trying to break down,
yeah,
I feel
it is
like...
a nonprofit organization. So yeah, that's not a one-to-one.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just trying to break down the last part of that person's statement because I feel like it sounded naive and incorrect to me. Because I believe Twitter is a for-profit organization even before Elon buys it. And then it was owned by rich people even before Elon bought it.
That is what it's saying. Because, okay, I'll read it again. Hope it goes without saying, but this is much bigger than one billionaire being a fraud and a liar. Our public squares and media platforms should not be for-profit entities, and they certainly shouldn't be controlled by the richest people on Earth. So this person is saying that it shouldn't be like this. Like, we need to move past this. Because, I mean, Jack Dorsey, who's also a billionaire, he's just, like, a weirdo as well. But in that he... I don't know, just doesn't want to deal with it anymore, I guess.
I guess I'm not necessarily disagreeing with the person. I just feel like it seems like they're saying this in response to like Elon Musk buying it and owning it, but not in response to like what it already is. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't know what changes Elon will make, but it just doesn't seem like much will change.
Yeah, this person's like, they put anti-capitalist in their bio, so they clearly hold this. But they write for, what is this? I think this person is like a freelance writer, and they've written for publications before, probably about anti-capitalist things, but I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of anti-capitalism and like what it stands for. So this, to me, kind of falls in line with what an anti-capitalist would think or believe. And some people may say that, in our capitalist society, that kind of belief is a little naive, but I don't know, it's just what they believe. I didn't say I agree with it. It's just, it exists. Oh, they got a little Jackson thing on their pinned tweet. Meant to do this a week ago. New name, new book. Check out Jackson Rising.
How long have you been recording? Because I feel like I would like
20.
to wrap up this topic, move on, maybe end it. I will say, I feel like the more I learn about capitalism, I feel like the less I like it. Mm-hmm. But I don't really know. And if you have an answer to what I'm about to say, I don't think I want you to be the one to like educate me on it.
Okay.
But even if I like was anti-capitalist, I just don't know what the solution or alternative is, Yeah.
Yeah. I think, that's their goal, to find that solution. That's the motivation of an anti-capitalist. And also, another prevailing belief of hardline anti-capitalists is that capitalism is like the root of all evil. So like every single problem that exists can be traced back to capitalism, and that's why it originates. Like racism is because of capitalism, and sexism is because of capitalism, and all of these problems that ail our society is because of capitalism, which that's very extreme. But yeah, that's what they believe. I wonder if Hassan is anti-capitalist.
Hassan?
Yeah, Piker.
I don't know who that is.
You know Hassan Piker? Hassan Abi? The Twitch streamer? He talks about a lot of he talks about a lot of political stuff. I don't watch him at all, but
I might have heard of him once or twice.
That's interesting. Because I remember people were dragging him online because he might have claimed to be an anti-capitalist at one point, but then he bought like a $2 million house in LA or whatever. This is like a year ago, I think.
Let's wrap up the Elon story.
Okay. Elon story.
Put a button on it. Oh, no final words or anything?
I mean, no. All of this has been very exhausting. I'll be very excited to not have to hear about it anymore. I hope Twitter doesn't suck, but if it does, we're going back to Tumblr, baby. Tumblr, they allowed boobies on Tumblr again. Tumblr is having her renaissance.
You like boobies?
No, but the reason Tumblr died in the first place is because they banned female presenting nipples, quote unquote. So,
and that's it? I thought they just banned all nudity.
Well, that is the verbiage that they use. But yes, they banned nudity. And that kind of ruined it because a lot of artists started leaving and stuff. So that's it used to be poppin', man. Now it's just like the hardcore weirdos, but now everybody's about to go back. It's Tumblr Renaissance 2023. I'm gonna be there for it. I'm gonna be there. Boots on the ground, I'm gonna be there. I'm so excited. Oh man, Tumblr used to be my
Boobs on
place.
the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted you to be grossed out by that.
Oh man, if Tumblr gets a renaissance for this, the girlies have won. We truly have.
I mean, it wasn't just female nipples. It was all nudity, right?
No, it was specifically female presenting nipples.
So you
that is the verbiage that they use. That's what they put in their post.
Okay, so you're telling me like, what is it? Like you could have like a penis on Tumblr, and then even after they banned nudity, you could still have penises on Tumblr?
No. I'm just telling you, that's what it said. It said female presenting nipples.
So that's one aspect that they banned.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I'm saying that to point out how ridiculous it was because male presenting nipples, whatever that means, that was perfectly fine. Female presenting, totally different. I guess if you just have...
I get it, but...
They banned nudity. For all intents and purposes, they banned nudity.
They banned nudity, and then about nipples, they were specific.
Yes.
Okay.
But now, boobies are back. And honestly, the reason they did that, it made sense. And it's kind of sad because it didn't do anything. Apparently, there is a not insignificant child porn problem on Tumblr, and that's why they banned nudity. So it didn't help though.
Yo, so you're excited that child boobies are back?
No, I'm not. No, why would you say that? No.
I just find it funny. Okay. You're like, the reason nudity got banned in the first place was because there was a lot of child porn, and you're like, hey,
but it didn't end up.
Boobies are back on Tumblr.
It didn't end up affecting that, or like the regular porn either. So I would still get porn bots in my DMs trying to be like, hey, click the link, but it didn't really do anything. But what it really ended up doing, I'm only on one side of Tumblr. Tumblr is many faceted. I was only on the artist side. What that ended up doing was making it so that artists, if they posted something, then their work would get censored, even if it wasn't nudity. The filters didn't work. That was the problem. They banned the stuff, but the filters that they put in place didn't work. But now it's kind of too late because they made Tumblr cool again. However, nobody's on Tumblr. But if Twitter goes to garbage, we're going to be back in droves. I'm going to be at the front lines, okay? I'm really excited about a Tumblr resurgence, okay? That used to be my place in, 2013, man. Gosh. You just had to be there. You just had to be there. That's all I can describe it as. It's just, you had to be there. But anyways, I guess what are we going to wrap up? We don't want to do a question.
I have good news.
What? We have more questions?
Whoa. One of our dearest listeners did submit more questions.
Who was it?
Patricia.
Shout out to Patricia. Shout out to a real one.
She submitted 3.
Okay.
And then Melissa might be sending some soon.
Okay. Are these juicy questions or are they softballs?
I mean, we're only going to do one, so you'll find out later. I feel like 2 of them are pretty fun and pretty juicy, but we don't have time for those right now. Really? I'm going with the simple one. Okay. I'm tired. I want to be done.
I'm tired. Okay.
Yeah.
It's only 8 o'clock. What are you?
I'm tired of the podcast, Arin.
Okay.
If you had to live with only one streaming service for the rest of your life, what would it be?
This feels like cheating, but 1-2-3 movies. Hello.
That's a streaming service?
Yes, it's a pirate streaming service. You can find everything there.
Even shows?
Yes.
Oh.
They have shows and movies. So that feels like cheating, but that's my answer.
I won't allow it.
Why not?
Will say it has to be a streaming service that
above the line.
You yourself are paying for.
Why do I have to be paying for it?
Because then it makes you assess the value differently.
I mean, I guess, but I already don't value money very well anyway, so that's not, I don't know. I'm a very reckless spender, Joseph. It's not the best uh, comparison to make, I guess.
Still got to make the decision based on the money that's coming out of your wallet.
I only pay for one, though.
This is a hypothetical where you are paying for whichever one you pick.
Okay. Well, then I gotta look at the prices, compare them, see what I'm getting.
You don't know.
You made this too complicated.
Uh-huh.
Now I gotta explore all options.
Just, I mean, like, I don't, maybe pick and I can roughly tell you the price, maybe.
Okay. I mean, gut check is HBO Max, but it's about to be not great, so I don't even know.
Potentially not great. We'll see. It's on the down. Hopefully it'll plateau.
Yeah.
Or come back, but we'll see.
Netflix used to be hot potatoes, but honestly, after 2018, it went downhill. Hulu has never really been on my radar. She can go. Never interested in Disney Plus. Peacock, why do you exist?
Yeah, I really want some of these new ones to just like die. I like Peacock's like, hey, we don't have the subscribers. Adios. Paramount Plus, we don't have the subscribers.
I forgot Paramount Plus existed.
Yep.
Because I mean, that's where they're putting all the Drag Race All-Star seasons.
The world needs to forget that it exists. Yeah. Well, while you're maybe thinking about it, okay. Well, while you're thinking about it, I also thought of potentially a cheat answer, and that is, which I'm not going with it because I don't want to.
Okay.
But potential cheat answers are Amazon Prime and Hulu. Because those two, you can actually just integrate all the other streaming services, most of them. So, like, on Amazon Prime and on Hulu, there's, like, an HBO.
You got, like, HBO.
You have
and
HBO, Showtime.
And all of those. Okay.
Like, a lot of them.
At that point, you just have cable.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, if you could only use Amazon Prime from then on, but, like, I don't know. It's sort of all of them are kind of in there. It's just more money. But since that's cheating,
and if you have Amazon Prime, you get 2-day delivery.
Since that's cheating, yeah, my answer is also HBO Max. It is expensive, but it is worth it because high quality movies, high quality shows.
For now,
I feel like HBO will still always have.
Well, yeah, HBO, but we're talking about Max.
Well, I mean, they're the same, aren't they?
No. Because you got HBO.
Okay, well, HBO Max will always have what still is HBO, unless it just becomes Max.
Well, I mean, HBO Max, that was kind of a not great name anyways, because it's just like Warner. All of the Warner properties.
Yeah.
So I guess they call it HBO Max because it's recognizable or whatever. Yeah. Which, I mean, it was a good business decision for them, but then, you got HBO Go, which I still have the app on my phone.
That's still around?
In some countries, not in the United States.
Melissa's calling.
Okay. I still have the app on my phone, and I don't think it works.
Yeah, HBO Max. I as of right now, I don't want to speculate too much about the future, but as of right now, I feel like it is the highest quality streaming service, and I guess if I'm paying for it for the rest of my life, it may do some good to speculate. I'd rather be optimistic about it. I would hope that some of these business decisions that the Discovery CEO is making will hopefully have some negative repercussions, because I don't know, it boggles my mind how like he/Discovery would buy a company and then like almost actively devalue that company, like just like ruin its reputation.
It was a merger, was it not? Because I mean, one didn't buy the other; they just absorbed.
I don't know. Look it up. I thought it was an acquisition because that's why Discovery's in charge now.
Well, if it was an acquisition, well, okay, you can look it up. It was
Discovery.
What happens when things get absorbed?
Warner.
There's a name for it. It's not absorption. That's not what I'm talking about. When you combine like two things. No, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I guess it says it is a merger. I just don't understand why Discovery CEO is making all the shots right now. Then
it's because he won at rock paper scissors. If we're being honest, I don't know. They flipped a coin.
Another article says Well, it says it is an acquisition. The New York Times says Discovery closes in on acquisition of Warner Media. So I feel like an acquisition is a merger. It's just like, I guess like the acquisition.
Who's buying who?
Discovery.
I know, but I'm saying like the acquisition is who's buying who.
Yeah, and then the merger is the company, is like it's afterwards. It's like, all right, we've acquired you, now we're combining, you know.
I'm really interested to know how much Discovery was worth compared to how much Warner. Was worth, because I don't know, I feel like there's more there, but
so
I don't want to stay on this.
I want to be, I guess it would, what is it? I was saying that given that this is the streaming service I'm picking for the rest of my life, I'm getting engaged to it, in sickness and in health. It would help to speculate, which I guess I'm sort of doing right now, but I'd rather be optimistic. That's Melissa.
Okay.
She told us to ignore her. She said she'll be very sneaky. Clearly the lock didn't agree with her.
It's very loud.
But what is it? I can't talk when like she's like, just ignore her. But like I can't talk when like other people are listening that aren't part of the conversation. You know, it's a thing. Like if I'm on the phone and like someone else like walks in the room, I'm like, I just stop talking. Yeah. Depending on who I'm on the phone with, but yeah, all that to say, I want to be optimistic about the trajectory of HBO Max. I know it's not looking particularly great right now, but it will still hopefully always have the good quality HBO movies and TV shows, and that is enough for me.
Nick Cannon has 12 children.
Who?
He's expecting his 12th. Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon. What does that have to do with this question?
I was thinking about it because I was thinking about.
Listening to me and my answer.
See, I can listen and think of different things at the same time. It's a very rare skill, apparently. But I was thinking about how Elon Musk has like 12 kids. Or no, he has 10. And Nick Cannon is like expecting his 12th.
Well, Patricia, to answer your question, my answer is HBO Max. Now, I feel like I almost want to go back to this like marriage metaphor. What if HBO Max doesn't exist anymore? You're
a widower.
Yeah. Patricia, tell me, do I get to remarry? Can I pick another streaming service? Yeah. She said the rest of your life. So it's like, if they're dead, it's like, well, I guess I just can't watch anything anymore.
Yeah. If we're going with the marriage analogy, I will marry HBO Max and I'll have an affair with 1, 2, 3 movies.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Perfect note to end on.
Infidelity. Great. Well, this was the 30th Big 3-0 episode of the Not Just Arin podcast. You can find us on all major You can find us on all major podcast platforms. That is Google, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and Anchor. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Not Just Arin Pod. Yes. And to discuss all things Not Just Arin, you can use the hashtag NJAPod. Who are we sponsored by?
HBO Max.
All right. Thank you to HBO Max for financially supporting the podcast. We could not do it without financial contributions from people like you. Thank you. So, I'm getting a new phone soon. I just wanted to let you know.
Cut that part out. It's irrelevant.